Okay, you've seen it all over social media, right? The flashy cars, the fancy watches, the dream lifestyles, all supposedly paid for by trading Forex. But let's be real, behind all that hype, there is a much, much harsher reality. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise and get to the bottom of why most people who try to trade end up losing.
It really all comes down to this one number, 90%. And look, this isn't just some random statistic pulled out of thin air. This represents the huge majority of regular people, retail traders who jump into the market with big dreams and, well, walk away with empty accounts. So what's the real story behind this number?
Well, it means this, the infamous 90-90-90 rule. This is one of the most brutally honest truths in trading, and it lays it all out. Within just 3 months, most new traders lose almost everything they started with. So the big question is, why? I mean, is the market just rigged against the little guy, or is there something else going on here?
Well, here's the thing. According to pretty much every seasoned trader out there, the answer isn't something you'll find on a price chart. It's something you find when you look in the mirror. The single biggest reason for failure isn't a bad strategy, and it's not even a crazy market. It's the trader's own psychology.
This right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the issue. You could literally have the best, most profitable trading strategy in the world. But if your head isn't on straight, if your mindset is wrong, that strategy is totally useless. Think of it like a tool. The strategy is just a hammer, but your mind is the hand that's swinging it.
And this slide just perfectly illustrates the difference. An amateur trader sits down at their desk and their first thought is, how much money can I make today, right? Their focus is all about the reward. But a professional, they start from a completely different place. Their first question is, how much am I willing to lose today? See that? They focus on managing risk first. And that one little shift in perspective, it changes the entire game.
It's because of that mindset difference that so many people fall into these classic traps. You know, you get a big win, and suddenly you feel invincible. Overconfidence kicks in, and you start taking crazy risks. Or you see the market taking off without you, and that FOMO, that fear of missing out, it just forces you to jump into a trade you know you shouldn't be in. Every click of the mouse can give you this little dopamine hit, and before you know it, what should be a calculated business starts to feel a lot more like a slot machine.
But you know, it's not just about what's going on inside your head. New traders are also up against a really complex, and let's be honest, often unforgiving industry. The financial system, it has its own pecking order, its own rules, and it really wasn't designed with the small, everyday trader in mind. So to really get it, you have to understand your place in the food chain. At the very top, you have the huge interbanks. These are the institutions that actually move the market. Then you have other big players, corporations, massive hedge funds. And then way down at the very bottom of the pyramid, well, that's us, the retail traders. We don't get direct access. We have to go through middlemen. And those middlemen, they're the brokers, and picking the right one is absolutely critical. Some are completely unregulated, which means, yeah, they could literally vanish with your money overnight. And then you have different types of brokers. You have market makers who are basically taking the other side of your trade. They kind of win when you lose. And then you have ECN brokers who just connect you to the market. Knowing that difference can save you a world of pain.
Brokers also give you this really powerful and really dangerous tool called leverage. What is it? Well, it's basically a loan. It lets you control a huge position in the market using only a tiny amount of your own money.
And here is the massive catch. Leverage is a total double-edged sword. Yes, it can multiply your profits like crazy. A tiny move in the right direction can mean a huge payday. But, and this is a big but, it works both ways. That exact same leverage will magnify your losses just as fast. And it is the #1 reason why traders can blow up their entire account on one single bad trade.
Okay, so this brings us to another part of this whole industry maze, the rise of what are called proprietary firms, or prop firms. You've probably seen them everywhere. They've gotten super popular by offering traders with small accounts the chance to manage huge sums of money. But they're also one of the most debated, most controversial topics in trading today.
So on one side, the argument is that prop firms are an incredible opportunity. If you're a skilled trader but you just don't have the cash, they offer you a path. You pay a fee, you pass their trading challenge, and boom, you get access to a funded account. It lets you scale up your profits in a way that would be pretty much impossible on your own.
But then there's this really strong counter-argument. Its perspective says that the whole business model isn't actually built on finding winning traders. Instead, the business profits from the 90% of people who pay for the challenges and fail.
The fees from all the people who lose are what's used to pay out the very, very few who actually win. So in that model, the failures are the real product.
So, with all of these psychological traps and all these industry hurdles, how in the world does anyone actually succeed at this? The answer is, you have to completely change your approach. You have to stop thinking like a gambler with a lottery ticket and start thinking like a business owner.
So what does that actually mean?
Well, it means you have to accept that trading is a capital-intensive business. It's going to have winning days and losing days. That's just revenue and expenses. But most importantly, it means you need systems. You need a system for everything, from how you enter a trade to how you manage your risk.
Now just let this one sink in for a second. Most traders, they work really hard to build a system for when to trade. But the pros, they also have a system for when not to trade. Seriously, knowing when to just sit on your hands, do nothing, and wait for the right conditions, that is one of the most profitable skills you can ever learn.
And look, developing these skills, it takes time. A lot of time. This is not something you're going to master in a weekend seminar or by watching a few videos. The sources are really clear on this. To become a consistently profitable trader, to master the strategy, and more importantly, to master your own mind, is a journey that takes a minimum of 3 to 5 years. Not months, we're talking years.
When you boil it all down, it really comes to this one central idea. The secret to success isn't some magic indicator, it's not a secret algorithm. Your real edge in the market, the one thing that separates the 90% who fail from the 10% who succeed, is discipline.
Think about it like this. Motivation is what gets you excited to open up the charts in the first place. It's that initial spark, that rush of what if. But motivation, it's a feeling. And feelings fade. It disappears after a big loss or when the market is just flat and boring. So what's left when that feeling is gone?
Discipline. That's what's left. It's not a feeling, it's a choice. It's about being loyal to the business plan you wrote down, loyal to the risk rules you set for yourself, and loyal to the system you promised you would follow no matter what. In the wild, chaotic world of trading, discipline isn't just a part of your strategy, it is the strategy.